The following presentation is brought to you through the meaningful relationships created through NotaryStars.com. Notary Stars is the only notary training platform and resource library offering 150 plus hours of training on every aspect of a signing agent's career, including over 35 different loan products. Oh, and their loan signing agent training is available in both English and Spanish. Members of Notary Stars are definitely dedicated to signing agent excellence, together with partners like the Remote Online Notary Network, which focuses on notaries who are pioneering in remote online notary. Notary Stars strives to give you a safe place to ask questions, get answers, gain confidence in your notary career, and achieve success without over-fabricating the truths about our industry. If you would like to support Notary Stars or the Remote Online Notary Network, please consider liking this video, subscribing to their channels, sharing this video with a colleague, or becoming a member of either site and trusting them to help you achieve the level of success you desire.
Well, hey there, friends. Get ready for an electrifying Monday at General Mentorship. We're thrilled to have you join us for another week of learning, networking, and growth. Remember, we meet every Monday except for holidays at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So watch for the weekly newsletter and click the button to add that event to your calendar. If you're new to Notary Stars, welcome. If you're not new, welcome as well. Welcome back. We are your one-stop shop for everything notary, and I'm not even kidding. Seriously, from rock-solid basics to the most complex loan file types in both English and Spanish. We even conquered the mysteries of RON together and offer the best notary business marketing course on the web to help you grow your business. If you're a member of the training website, you have access to a different class every single day of the week on amazing topics to help you hone your notary and business skills. As we get started today, remember, you can raise your hand at any time to ask a question or share an experience. Don't be shy. We're all here to learn and grow together. Please just ask one question at a time so that it allows others a chance to ask or share as well. Ronnie, I think we're ready for your announcements if you want to get us started here.
Yeah, my first announcement here today is actually something some of you might have heard if you're in the Facebook group, but it's pretty exciting. Mortgage rates have dropped to 0.5%. That's not a lot in our minds, but it's actually a big to-do. And with that has increased, and Kirsten's going to post an article in there. I want to be part of the whole hearsay hoopla. This actually came from the American Land and Title Association. I get all of their emails that go out. And that's caused a 3% uptick in refis, which is great for us as notaries across the country. We need to keep, praying for more drops. But that's big news for us as notaries. So just wanted to mention that. And Amy, I know you also have an announcement that I want you to go ahead and make. And then I have something from the field this week I want to share with everybody.
I do. Thank you. So this actually came in originally from Julie Barish, but it's something that all notaries really should pay attention to and do. It's kind of a best practice aspect. You should be doing this with all of your online sessions, but it's specifically if you're on the Blue Notary platform. If any of your have you ever possibly ended with your session where the signer's signatures delete from the page or your stamps delete from the page, and then you're like, you have to do the session all over again? Well, apparently, if your signers or the witnesses leave the video screen before you're done, it's a security protocol. So you have to make sure that all attendees stay from start to finish in order for your document to be completely locked and safe. That's really something you should be doing with all of your RON sessions, no matter what software you're on. But specifically with Blue Notary, you need to make sure that you're doing it. Otherwise, you're going to have to do the session over. And that's no fun for anyone. Yep. Right, Ronnie?
Yep. And thank you for sharing that. You were a little choppy at moments. I don't know if it was for mine, from my perspective. So just to repeat for everybody, if you are on the Blue Notary platform and you've had problems with the stamp or signature missing when you complete your session, it's because you're not allowing the signer or yourself or witnesses to stay all the way to the end. If you will allow them to complete the session, then you should remedy that problem. And that came from Julie Barish. Sorry to have to repeat that. I just want to make sure because you were a little choppy, and I don't know if it was me or you
There
were.
is an actual follow-up question to that in the chat. Somebody wants to know, Joyce, does that include those that were added as witnesses as well?
Yes.
It does.
So then they would be privy to non-public personal information unless that witness document was moved to the end of the session. Is that right?
Correct.
Perfect.
So I believe you can call in witnesses on demand at Blue Notary. So you would call your witness in at the end.
But they have to stay till you're done. That's the only caveat.
Yeah.
Perfect. Got it.
All right. I just have one more thing that I want to say I'm really proud of in the notary community, and then we can start going between questions in the gallery. Guys, if you have questions that you brought specifically for tonight, please make sure that you go ahead and get your hand raised because an hour goes by really fast. And we have a lot of great questions that you wrote in, but make sure to raise your hand. One thing that I want to say is, out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of transactions that we did at Unlimited Inc. last month, you guys that were able to work with us, I think we had about 50 critical errors where there would be, a situation where a notary had to call from the table. And I was able to pay out 49 of those 50 criticals. So thank you to those 49 notaries that actually picked up the phone from the signing table. If you're not aware, we are not allowed to bill if you leave the table first. So a lot of you are reading your instructions. It says, hey, if something goes wrong, contact Unlimited Inc. That goes for a lot of signing services. They're not able to bill their customer unless you've actually followed the protocol. There are a lot of notaries out there, and I hear from other signing services saying, hey, or outside of the Notary Star community that say, hey, my notary left the table and, I'm not able to collect. What do you do? And I say, well, we just can't collect because that's part of the service that we provide them. So thank you to those notaries that are actually listening and always making those phone calls before you make an executive decision. Just so proud to say, 49 and a 50 ain't bad. So I'm very, very proud of that. And thank you all for all your hard work and care and concern for what you're doing out there in the field.
Perfect. Awesome. I think we are ready to start going through some questions in the jot form, except Brenda, last minute, raised their hand in the gallery. Let's take that live question first. Miss Brenda, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
Hey, Beth, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm driving. Sorry about that. My question is for Amy. Amy, I've run into a situation where my IP address is being listed in Virginia and Ohio and other states along the eastern part of the United States. And I'm in Florida. Lord knows I'm an old lady and I don't leave Florida very often, and I'm not in all those other states. How does that work with Ron? How do they know I'm where I'm supposed to be?
Well, that's a good call. Can you hear me okay with this one? I switched to the other headset. Okay, perfect. I would contact your internet provider. Most likely what internet service are you using?
Windstream.
Is it kind of like a hotspot? Like I have Verizon Home and it moves with me.
It's a Wi-Fi, so it's set up at my house specifically for my house. But because Windstream resells AT&T lines or whoever else, it's a reseller, I could end up anywhere on the eastern seaboard as far as like my IP address.
So you have two options. One, you could get something from them that says your IP address is going to change and it doesn't necessarily reflect where you're at. Okay. Or two, you could get a VPN. And now keep in mind, because she's Florida, that's why I'm giving her this advice. It is illegal in New York to get a VPN, but for Florida, it's not. You could get like a NordVPN for like $12 a month, and it would show you in Tampa. So those would be my two options, just to keep, it's more of a CYA.
Right, and I want a CYA capital A on that one.
Exactly. Exactly. And like I mentioned, the VPN is fine. You just want to make sure you explain why you're using it. And if you are a New York notary, it is illegal to use it. So,
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
no problem. That was a good catch, though.
So
Yeah.
I'll tell you why Miss Brenda is such a good catch on or a good catch on that, doing such a good catch on that question. Wasn't it like last quarter, Beth? She attended every single live session for training and won. She's the one who won for attending every single live session.
Yes. Yep.
So she's a studier, and she's gonna make the best out of all of this. So she's
You've got
asking
an
good
eye
questions
for
there.
detail for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. We've got a couple of more hands up, maybe that's on the same topic here. Isaac, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
Hi there. Yes, I'm just trying to start off and with proof. Just trying to get advice from y'all. Like, what are the top ways to get clients on that platform, and then maybe in general?
Amy, do you want this, or you or me?
You want to go first and then I'll go after?
Yeah, I think I'll take the liability of this. So I know that there's a lot of notaries out there that work for proof. Okay. So Isaac, let me explain something. Everybody has a different financial bracket that they're going for as a remote online notary or a notary. There are people who it really works well for them and their schedule. To me, Proof just really wants order clickers and people who may or may not be trained. Sorry for the Notary Stars who have take training that work on Proof, but they are really kind of like what we call a notary farm. They're going to pay you very little for your skills if you have them. They're going to do everything their way, and you're just going to be sitting there clicking to accept orders. There's another alternative method out there. We have worked really hard at Notary Stars to give you a way to create a website that actually competes with Proof nationwide and even overseas. You just have to do the customizations yourself. There are so many ways and avenues as a remote online notary to bring in business, and it's not just about title and escrow. In fact, which is really slow for even paper notaries right now. With remote online notarization, you have so many opportunities with doctors' offices, creating clients, and you only need one or two really great clients that can send you, all of their contracts for a month, or certifying translations for someone, or doing. There's a million things out there. So you really want to get to know each of the platforms. We have done reviews with every single platform out there. You want to be careful this day and age with remote online notary platforms that invite your customer to create a customer account, because then you can kiss your customer goodbye. Like Proof, your customer is their customer. You can't remarket to them to come back. A lot of the other ones ask you to create an account as a user. We worked really hard to find a notary platform for you, which is Pro Notary, which we have through the Remote Online Notary Network, where that customer remains your customer. It is white labeled for your business. They're not creating an account at Pro Notary. They're creating a client account with your white label platform. So you want to be very careful with those. If you're not with us at Notary Stars, we have a lot of guidance for you. If you're brand new to the industry, I highly recommend starting out at Notary Stars at the Notary Star level, going to the Notary Star Plus marketing level, and then joining us at the Remote Online Notary Network, which for the Remote Online Notary Network, that's really for notaries who have already done their training. They're ready to start taking raw orders. So there is kind of a progression. Doesn't take that long, not trying to give you a sales pitch, but we already have the journey laid out for you. I hope that answers your question. I know it was a lot to get out there. Amy, did you have anything you wanted to comment on that?
I was just going to say, if you want to actually be profitable with online notarization, you've got to have your own marketing tools. You're not going to get profitable by any on-demand service by any company out there.
No, no, and they don't care about you. They care about getting their customers in, and they don't want to use you over and over again, because then you could take their customer. They want to give it to multiple notaries so that that customer just stays in a loop and a call queue, so you never have a dedicated agent.
Exactly.
Very interesting. One more hand up in the gallery, and then Manuel, get ready because we're going to start reading those questions from the jot form. Thomas Morales, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
Yes, just good evening, everybody. Just to carry out on the original call about the lady in Florida, most of us I'm cyber, and my VPN stays on 24/7. So my IP comes out of, I'm in Maryland, my IP shows up in Chicago. So from a security standpoint, I'm not too sure about how most of the RONs work on, but there is a tunnel between point A and point B. Well, it should be. Because again, a man in the middle situation can capture a lot of the information going back and forth. So that might be a question we need to put to the National Notary Association about VPNs and the security, and where are you actually located and licensed in what state. That's all I have. Thank you.
I love. So I know you're about to say something, Amy. I love that. That was said, but I want to tell you the National Notary Association could care less about this question. They're not going to get involved. So it's going to be a question really that I think, Amy, that we would pose to our Secretary of States, how they want that dealt with. I wish that the National Notary Association cared that much, but they're too busy peddling all the things that they want to sell us, and not going to really dig their teeth into that. Amy, do you think that's something more on the Secretary of State level?
It definitely is. Now that I can't talk, specifically because the state laws are going to vary. Like I mentioned, New York has completely outlawed the use of a VPN network. So every Secretary of State's going to have a different viewpoint, and you're going to want to make sure that you are completely legit. So, Thomas, where you're at, you're allowed to do it, but I would definitely keep the bill every month and log it so that you can show proof. I'm using a VPN, so it's not ever going to show that I'm in my state. Because if you ever pulled the audit report, it's going to show that you're not there.
All right.
All righty. Good point. I think that we are ready to start with Mr. Mark's question in the jot forms. Manuel, if you would.
Sure. This question came from Mark M. This question is for Mrs. Kirsten. I have completed the background and NSA renewal course and test. Do I need to do anything to update my profiles with Notary Stars, Signing Order, and other sites?
Oh, you can't unmute? There you go.
go. Yeah. Okay.
We were holding you captive.
Does that mean I don't have to answer? No. I would go back through every profile site that you have created. And on our website, under Notary Basics, we do have a tracking sheet that you can use and keep track of all the signing platforms and everything that you've signed up with. And just make sure you've updated everything. Every year, you should be updating your background check on those profiles, and a W-9 every year. If you check out Unlimited Ink Notary, they do require you have a new W-9 at the beginning of each year. And you can just make sure, get in the habit of making sure that everything is updated every year. Because, we all have to do a background check all the time. And then once you have to renew your commission, you'll have a list of everything of where you need to update and what you need to update. Hope that helps out.
I want to just throw one thing on that. When you make those updates annually, it's a really great time because we're all taking courses to learn trust delivery. We're all taking courses to learn apostille. We're all learning how to do remote online notarization. When you go through those profiles, which we all have to do, self-included, every year, have to make sure that all my profiles are up to date. My errors and omissions insurance increased, or I decreased it, or whatever you got going on. Make sure that you also, not just with that renewal for the National Notary Association, that you comb through anything else that you can add to your profile. If you learned how to do reverse mortgages, make sure you've ticked the box. Make sure that you add that you took any kind of training that you've taken. Make sure that that's in there. Use that opportunity to really go through every single one of your listings. And I'll tell you guys, as a scheduler, I see so many notaries missing opportunities because they're not updating. They just go through and that's all they do is their background check. I know for a fact some of the people that I look at, they tell me, oh, I took this course, or I see it in our Facebook group. I took this course, and then I go to hire them, and I'm like, I swore that they told me that they do apostilles, and they don't have that checked, or I swear that they told me that they have Nina Penny's reverse mortgage, or that they trained with Beth on reverse mortgage, and then there's no tick box next to their name. So make sure you use that opportunity to comb any opportunity you can. Don't miss out, on anything.
And make sure that if you are bilingual, put that in there. And Ron, put
Yes.
that in there. Notary Stars profiles have those options. And we have more bilinguals than are signed up. I know, well, that have checked the box. So make sure.
If you speak another language, you are an asset as a notary. So make sure that you put that in your profiles.
All righty, we've got Jesse who's had his hand up in the gallery for a little bit here. Jesse, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
His hand's been up so long.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. This is a question about Ron. I'm out here in no Ron land called AKA California. Do you know if there's any updates on if it's coming here at any time soon, or if there are any workarounds? I heard that you can maybe get commissioned in Nevada or Arizona potentially. Can you give me some insight on that?
Sure. So let me ask you first, do you ever travel to Arizona or Nevada?
I do. I go to conferences in Nevada all the time.
Okay. So your option is you could get dual commissioned in Nevada, but you physically cannot do an online session unless you are in Nevada at the time of the session.
Okay.
Okay. So you can't be in California and be a Nevada notary.
Okay.
It won't work that way. All right. So in short, yes, you can do it. They are cracking down. They are monitoring this. I've had to produce reports, so I know this is true. So just make sure your feet are in Nevada when you do it. Now, short of that, you could do something we call facilitation of online sessions, where you get a network of notaries across the nation. You become basically a Ron signing service. And then when Ron comes legal in 2030 in California, you could then take over those sessions, those clients that you've built over the years. I know of multiple California notaries that have done facilitated hundreds of sessions across the nation already, and they're already building that client base, but they themselves are not the notary on the document. They are just the connector. So that would be the other option.
Okay, so they would set up a website like what you were talking about earlier and get the business, the clients, and they would just find notaries in those areas to actually still facilitate the signing.
Right. You're basically a Ron signing service.
Got it. Okay, great. Thanks for the option. But it's coming to California in 2030? I didn't know that.
Yeah, the current law says that they're going to roll out some type of Ron rules or regulations in 2030.
Great. That's good to know. Thank you for your information. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All righty, Manuel. Next up on Jot Form for us.
Hi, Ms. Beth. Thank you. This question is for you. It came from Rosa H. Been hearing on Clubhouse that giving a brief explanation of loan documents is considered the unauthorized practice of law. So I asked Google, parenthesis AI, and this is the response I received. No, a Washington notary cannot give a brief overview or explain the contents of the document to a signer.
Well, I'm really sorry that somebody in Clubhouse gave you that impression and that AI backed it up. So first of all, I've got to tell you, AI is only going to repeat what it finds on the internet. And if anybody put that on there, that's what it's going to come up with. You need to dig a little bit deeper. But here's the first thing I want to tell you. If you can find a statute in Washington's notarial handbook that says you can't give a brief explanation, we're talking loan documents here. Okay. So remember, our notary handbooks talk about notarial regulations, not what we do in loan signings. you're actually, other than UPL, says sometimes we can't give advice or, go into detail about things because now it's unauthorized practice of law. But it doesn't say in Washington's handbook that you can't give a brief overview of the document. In fact, to be a loan signing agent, you must take NNA's loan signing agent certification. Part of that certification is their SBW Code of Conduct. Those two things together specifically says in there, one of the questions is or one of the agreements that you're agreeing to says you will give a brief explanation of the documents during a loan signing. What's the exact words, Ronnie? A brief overview. You're to recite the name of the document and give a brief overview of the document. You need to make sure that your signer is aware of the nature and effect of that document before they sign it. That's your job. So unfortunately, Clubhouse was wrong, and AI just repeats information. It doesn't check whether it's good or bad advice. So,
Miss Beth, can I get on a soapbox for just 1 minute about this? I
sure.
promise not to take it too long. So guys, please hear me out. The answer is simple here. You want to be a loan signing agent, but you don't want to give a brief description of the documents. Doesn't that sound like a conundrum right there? How could you be a loan signing agent if you can't guide the signers through? Your clients are title and escrow clients that are asking you to be their eyes and ears out in the field. They're asking you to deliver a loan signing package to make sure that all the signatures and dates and initials are where they're supposed to be, and the notarial certificates are complete. If you want to be just a mobile notary, have at it. Get a Google business listing, go out there and just do general notary work documents all day. You don't have to describe those, okay? But a loan signing agent is different. They wouldn't call it a certified signing agent exam and have loan document questions on that exam. And you can go and read the entire SBW Code of Conduct, which deals a lot with what we do. There is a group of people out there and clubhouses where they find their magic. But if you could see what I could see as a signing service owner, those people have terrible feedback from title and escrow and signing services, all accumulated in snap docs and signing order because they think that this is not their job. I know that it seems like magic to become a notary and then I can do all these loans. But you got to think, is somebody really giving you 150 pages plus and thinking nothing's going to happen other than the stamp going down on the paper? It's just not the case in this industry. We are loan signing agents. We are working on behalf of title and escrow to help them do their job, and they contract us. Now, when you work through a signing service, you may not feel like you're paid enough to do that, but it adds up with every one that you do, and you practice with signing services till you get your own direct business. And then you really show off. And let me tell you, if you go into a direct client and you tell them that you're not going to guide the signer through and give them a general description, your direct clients are not going to hire you. The first time that you tell a direct client that you're not going to walk them through a signing, that's your last time working with them. So take it from us here. Those people that are find a place on Clubhouse and bark their biggest talk out there, they don't have your best interest in heart. It's because they've already failed at their jobs, and now they want you to fail too. And they make money off of talking about failing. So please don't listen to just everybody out there or AI. We've got you here at Notary Stars, and I just had to put my 2 cents on that because there's so many people that pull those disgruntled tricks out of their hat. Oh, you don't have to do that, blah, blah, blah. You don't need training. You're not allowed to do this anyway. And it's just not facts. Think about it. Title and escrow hire you to be their eyes and the ears in the field and get 150 pages done. Why would they not expect you to give a general description, which is not attorney work? It just says this is your deed of trust. It puts property in your name and lists the lender as the first lien holder. That's all it is. They just need to know that you said that one sentence. That's not even legal work. That's just giving a general description of what is this document in front of you. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox, Miss Beth.
So if you take loan signing agent training at Notary Stars, you're going to get the whole enchilada. That's actually going to empower you to be able to have enough information in your back pocket to be able to pivot, to be able to know where you can point to an answer in a file. So if somebody's stuck at a signing table at midnight and nobody is available to call, you can pretty much figure it out on your own. That's what we teach at Notary Stars.
And Beth teaches a Wednesday class called Sauce. So you get the whole enchilada with the sauce. Just saying.
And do you know who taught all of us how to do this?
Carol Ray.
Carol Ray from Notary to Pro. Let's not forget to speak the names that brought us all here today. For anybody that's just new to the notary industry, please look up Notary to Pro. I wouldn't be here. Beth wouldn't be here. Kishrin wouldn't be here. Amy wouldn't be here. None of us would be here. She is the grandmother of all notary signing agents these days. Unfortunately, no longer with us. She was the original Notary Stars, and made my company what it is today. So never forget where we came from. I'm just going to say we're going to sit up here and say we have all this, but I asked for permission to do all of this from the original grandmother of all notary signing agents, Carol Ray. And she was known to go rounds with the NNA, by the way, on fact or fiction. So we can never, ever forget where we came from. And that course to this day is still just as valid as Notary Stars. I'm telling you. And people still respect it to this day. That's a legacy right there. When you're not able to speak for yourself and it speaks for you. Now I'm going to get off the soapbox. Let's go back to questions, Miss Beth.
All right. Got a hand up in the gallery. Ingra? I think I said that right. Glasses. Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Thank you. And I thank y'all for reminding me of Carol's last name because I thought it was Ray, but I wasn't sure. But she had a heart of gold and she is truly missed. I trained with her. My question is around Ron. I am very interested in becoming a Ron notary, and I was on the Secretary of State's site for Arizona, and I know that it requires you to be connected with the vendor. But is there one vendor preferred over another? I know that does all of them charge a fee, or just certain ones charge a fee? I am just researching and trying to get as much information as possible on this.
It's a great question, and I hear it a lot. Which one is the best? Which one's the cheapest? And the answer is going to be they vary. If there was only one really good Ron vendor, there wouldn't be 65 to choose from. Okay? Point blank. So our at Remote Online Notary Network and through Notary Stars, our preferred vendor now is Pro Notary, which is really good. You can white label, you can do a lot of things. They're not super expensive. But it really depends on what you intend to do with the business. Do you want something that's bringing you work? Do you want something that you're bringing all of the work? Do you want something that's hybrid? How do you expect to get your clients? Do you intend to do oath of credible witness? Do you not? There's so many other questions that go into play that make each Ron platform different and better for each person that I can't just say, here's the best one for you.
Okay.
I need you to look at what you're allowed to do, what your abilities enable you to do, and what you intend to market to do. And then you could start narrowing down the Ron platforms. Think of them like a printer. They're just a printer. Everyone researches a printer before you buy it, right?
Right.
So think about how you plan to market your business, how you expect to grow, and then start looking at the technology. Is that technology going to benefit you or is it going to hinder you? And look into those details.
Okay. So I guess part of my stumbling block would be is I'm not sure of what all is available? Is there somewhere that I can go to discover what all is available so that I can know how and what it is I actually want to do? I know I want to grow my services, but to what level, I'm not sure of what all is available to me. Because it's almost like if you don't know the question to ask, you don't know what to ask, you know?
I totally get it. So I just put in the chat that a link to the MISMO certified RON platforms. Now, that doesn't mean that they are the best, but it does mean that they're approved to do real estate transactions. So, and I tagged you in it, so it should have
Okay.
alerted you. If you
Okay.
click on that link, it will give you all of the RON platforms that are approved to do approved by underwriting aspects to be able to do an online session for real estate. That means they've gotten the second level certification that other RON platforms that aren't on this list haven't done. So if I were picking, I would want to start from that list.
Okay. Thank you. Is there someone with Notary Stars that's more of a subject matter expert on this, such as yourself, or maybe someone else, or you and someone else?
Oh, I'm going to answer this one. We hired Amy, and I pay a really good salary for this, so she is the expert.
Okay.
We got her. We begged her to come over here. Like my knees have scabs on them still to this day, where I crawled across some pavement and cried and begged and said please. So she is the expert. She's here at Notary Stars part time and full time at Remote Online Notary Network. You can
Okay.
access her through either one, but you will never, ever, ever in this entire industry ever get another trainer that is more well versed in remote online notarization than Amy. So,
Okay.
and I'm still trying to heal the scabs. If y'all can send me some salve or anything, like I crawled across the pavement on this one. So we got her,
Okay.
and I'm so glad to have her. But there is no one else, not myself,
Okay.
not Beth, not Kirsten, not Manuel, none of the. We all have our expertise levels. Amy
Mhm.
in this industry is the biggest. She's the Beth of the remote online notary, you know, sector of this business. So
Better stop now. She's turning red.
you can't get any more. Well, I had to say it because I have to write the check every month. So, you can't get any
Okay.
more expert than Amy on this.
Okay. Well, I know your office, the home office is in Phoenix. Is it a brick and mortar office to where a notary can come in and actually meet the person and sit down with the person, or is it always by
So
Zoom?
we do everything by Zoom here at Notary Stars. And by the way,
Okay.
Amy's located in Florida. Beth is in one part of Arizona. I'm in another. There's hours in between all of us here. We just
Hmm.
happen to have started here. Manuel's over in
Okay.
California. We are all, there's no reason for you to have to walk in with Zoom. We can share
Okay.
our screens. We can give you, things to look at, almost touch them. We can show you where you can touch those types of things.
Okay.
Virtual things you can't touch anyway. So there is no walk in. We're able to reach so many people with one Zoom, just like tonight, we're able to talk to all of you at one time. So I want to introduce you, and please don't take this the wrong way, Ingra.
Okay.
I mean this with love. A lot of notaries like yourself say, is there a place where I can walk in? And the thing is that the one place you walk in, see, I have accountability with Beth. If I sit up here and tell you something that's not true, Beth will call me out in front of the entire place. So will Amy, and they'll say, that's not correct, or maybe that's not 100% true. You got to be very, very careful when you go behind closed doors and walk in training centers for notaries because it's just you and a possible lie behind the curtain. I kind of like I kind of like the accountability of training in front of other people. And I have to say, I've been called out once or twice over the last 6 years of doing Notary Stars and questioned. And I kind of like that because
Okay.
accountability is a thing when it
Right.
comes. And so when you have 30, 40 other great minds like yourself in a training session, I think it works better because you're not just being fed what someone personally thinks. You
Okay.
have to be given the truth of what's out there.
Okay. No, I understand. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you know I meant that with love. I just wanted to open your
Yeah,
eyes
I
because
don't take any of that personally. I'm accepting it all as, education, and I don't take any of it personally because that's what we're here for.
You're awesome.
And can I
awesome.
add something? Can I add something?
Sure.
Inga, are you a Notary Star member? Yes, she is. Oh,
I don't know, but I know where you're going with it, and I totally agree with where you're going.
Yes.
okay. So I'm going to drop in the chat a link for tomorrow's Tuesday Neat class because Amy is taking over Tuesday Neat, and it's all
Okay.
about basics, essentials. I have my commission now. What the heck do I do?
Mhm.
So that is tomorrow night at 4 p.m. our time, Arizona time.
Okay.
And
Isn't there a
section
song out there that's like,
Sounds good.
some things are meant to be?
and one of the topics is how do I pick a RON platform? How many should I pick, etc.
Okay.
So that is something we will be going into tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you all so very much.
Miss
Awesome.
Beth, I think we need to get our guest in for tonight.
We do. We have Miss Delora in the group.
I'm going to make Miss Delora a co-host. And Miss Delora, if you don't mind, before you start, could you raise your hand so I can get you pinned up for everybody? Now, I'm going to make a brief introduction, guys. We only have 20 minutes left, and we have some amazing questions on the docket with hands raised. If somebody can help me pin Delora, let's see if I can do it. Pin, there we go. There we go. So, guys, I'm going to give you a brief introduction. I know you don't need it, but Delora is our health insurance advisor for Notary Stars. So you own your own business. Health insurance is a thing. Some of you may not need it. Please don't leave the call tonight just because you think it's something that's not for you. We got plenty more to go, but I definitely believe in health insurance as a business owner, especially at my age or older. Something could happen, and we want to be covered as business owners. So, Miss Delora, just remind everybody who you are and how they can get in touch with you. And I know you have some updates for the Big Beautiful. Is it the Big Blue Beautiful Bill? What's it called?
I think it's just a big, beautiful bill.
Big Beautiful Bill.
Yeah. So, hi guys, my name is Delora. It's been a bit since I've been here, but I wanted to pop back in and remind you that I am here to answer all of your questions about health insurance coverage. Whether you are on the marketplace or you have spouse's coverage or your own, if you still are a W-2 employee somewhere. Or as a self-employed person, that's really big, and there's plans specifically made for self-employed people. And if you haven't heard yet, I'm sure you have, it's been all over the place about this bill. And yeah, it's going to affect millions and millions of people. One thing that is come to my attention in helping people is that it's not a new bill. This is an assistance program that was enacted about 2 years ago when Biden was in office to help with COVID. And what he did was enhance the subsidy package. So he just increased the amount of subsidies. And that was only to last for 2 years. And then it got extended. And so now it's time for it to expire and COVID is over. So they're not extending it anymore. So all of the enhanced packages are going back to what they were when Obamacare first rolled out. And I think that's important to know just because it's not some new crazy thing that they're thinking of. It's just going back to the way that it was. But it's going to affect millions and millions and millions of people. I have a website here I'm going to put in the link that if you put your information in, if you scroll down the page, there's a place for you to input some information. And it will tell you, like now, maybe you're going to get like a $700 subsidy for this year. And a subsidy, if you don't know, is where the government is helping you pay your health insurance for your family or for yourself each month. So if you get a $700 subsidy, that means the government is paying $700 worth of your health insurance every month and you pay the rest. Well, somebody who's currently earning $700 from the government to pay for their health insurance next year probably won't get anything. So it's going to affect a lot of people. So I'm going to put all that information here along with that link so you can check it out. If you have more questions or you need to see if it's going to affect you at all, reach out anytime. I'm happy to help answer your questions and show you some options. That's it.
Changes. First
Yeah.
it's on, then it's off, then it's on again. Sure
That's
glad we
right.
have you here.
That's right.
Think Kirsten I'll have to go back and check here. I think she
Yes.
put your health insurance contact information in the chat, and
Yep.
then whatever other information you have for us, Delora, we appreciate you. And guys, if you're a member of Notary Stars, you can find Delora on our website as well. So if you missed the information in the chat and you're watching this on replay, go to our website and you can find Delora or Insurance with Delora, right? Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, Manuel.
I get to read it. I get to read the question.
We are ticking. Okay.
Yeah.
We are ticking down on the time. So we've got just about 14 minutes left. The next question is actually for you.
All right, Manuel. This is from Martha P. She puts, I am new and would like to know the best way to get business.
Dude, great question. And I can probably spend a good amount of time giving her not just one way, but many ways, right? It all depends, Martha's situation, right? I'm not sure if she's like brand new, she has knowledge, or her expertise as a notary, but the first one, and that's what works for me. First one is your neighborhood, right? Start like dropping off business cards in your neighborhood, places that you think they need your services as a notary, right? The only place that I do not recommend you to actually go yet, if you are brand new, is title companies. Probably if you go to title companies and you are a brand new notary, and you make a mistake, probably that's going to be the first and last time they hire you, right, as a notary. Other ways, you can get businesses by creating your Google business profile. Social media is big right now: Facebook, Instagram, Nextdoor. I get a lot of clients Nextdoor. I post a lot, so that's a good way. It's free. They have a free account. TikTok, it's another not a big one. And also your website. Having a website also helps.
Absolutely. All good pieces of advice. Kirsten, anything to add?
No, that's
Okay.
yeah.
All righty. We have another hand up in the gallery. Let's go ahead and have David unmute and ask his question. And guys, we still have 162 people on this call, 10 minutes left. So get your hands up if you have a question or a experience that you'd like to share. Go ahead, David.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
You bet.
Okay, great. I wanted to, how do I get an opportunity to go into or to join the Notary Stars?
Well, Kirsten is our new notary liaison. She can help you with that. You want to take that, Kirsten?
Sure. So what you can do is I'm hearing an echo. You hearing that too?
Yeah, it's okay. You can go.
Okay. You can join us through notarystars.com. And I can put that link in the chat for you. And you can join us, and every Monday we have this general mentorship. Tuesday we have NEAT, which is notary education and training, which is for the new notaries or notaries who want to kind of reestablish themselves and relearn things, or just like to go to class, and we'll take that. So it's great to give you that basis and foundation. What state are you from, David?
Texas.
Texas. Okay. And we have a lot of Texas notaries that show up in classes. And then we have a class with Beth on Wednesdays. We have marketing with Ronnie on Thursdays, and every other Friday we have Amy for Ron. So with Notary Stars, you get every type of training, like Beth was saying at the beginning of the lesson. So I will put in the chat a link that you can join, and then there's also going to be a little brochure in there if you like to read that over. It kind of talks about how what we do here at Notary Stars.
Great.
And I just want to ask, since David's new, well, first of all, David, I want to say welcome to Finding Notary Stars. We've been around for about 6 years now, and I'm so glad that you found us. We'll be hopefully a part of your journey. Kirsten did post that into the chat for you, but if you've been around for a while, why don't you send David an @ message or post something in the chat and let him know what you think about Notary Stars so he can make an informed decision. We definitely, would love to help one more person on their journey. I mean, that's what we're all about. But David, I'll tell you this: I'm a man of my word, and if you are, brand new to the notary community, we will always be honest with you. We may not tell you exactly what you want to hear. We'll always be honest with you, and we will point you in the right direction. And in hopes that one day when I retire, you'll hire me, and then I'll have a job. A lot of you don't know, but I'm setting up my future as I speak, trying to do all this training so that you young ones can take over one day and I can retire. Don't let the Botox and the hair dye fool you and the Zoom filter. I'm an old man over here.
I cannot thank you enough. I've done several signings for you already, um, and I was willing to join become a member. I love what you do. I wish you the most success ever, and I can't thank you enough for allowing me to be part of your team.
Well, thank you for being here with us tonight.
Thank you.
We appreciate each and every one of you too. We've got 3 minutes left, Ronnie?
8 minutes. I got 8 minutes left.
Oh, okay.
We're going to get as many
can
questions
we
answered
get?
as we can.
Yeah, if you got your hands up, you're good. We'll get your questions. Everybody else, you just have to sit here and listen. Linda, quick question from you. Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so my question concerns, we talked about updating our profiles, and one of the things was a background check, which mine is coming up. Do we have to go through NNA, for instance, if I wanted to go directly to Backgrounds Online or another company? I know you can basically do what you want to do, but would that be accepted by the signing companies even though they don't see it on my NNA profile?
The most
That makes
widely
sense?
accepted, and there's going to be people who tell you that sell background checks, that there's alternatives. The most widely accepted in our industry is the National Notary Association background check. Unfortunately, we need to work on that as a community to change. But right now, the largest one that's accepted nationwide is the National Notary Association. I know it sounds like I have a beef with them, but there's a monopoly there. And I would say that we need to work on that as a community to change. And I wish I could give you a different answer, Miss Linda, but the most widely accepted that you're going to get the most business with is going to be that NNA one.
Okay, and that's Backgrounds Online, which I don't have a problem with that company, but I just know that they get. Well, anyway, thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you.
We understand.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Next up, Jenny G in Tennessee.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have not a question. I just wanted to make a comment real quick. I know that there was a couple of Tennessee notaries that were saying that they could not get their stamp with their commission date on it. And that is not true. I found it in the Tennessee primer, and I also found it on the SOS's website. I just wanted to let them know that they can get a stamp. You don't have to have just one in Tennessee. You can have as many as you want, but you can have one with your commission date on it.
Yes, were you sure the issue wasn't the commission number? Because you guys don't have numbers, do you?
No, we don't have a number. They just said that they weren't able to get one with the commission expiration date on it.
Okay.
And
So
I do want to chime in on this. I love that you brought this up, Miss Jenny, because in title and escrow, when you're working with loan documents outside of your state, or a lender that's outside of your state, or a title agency that's outside of your state, which a lot of us do, they're going to require that your commission expiration date be in that stamp and on that line. So I'm glad that you brought that up because it is a problem for signing services all over the country, including unlimited ink. So I love that you have one. You just got bumped up the list a little bit. I will definitely go look you up because that is and I hope other notaries will find out about that. Don't just tell it here, tell it everywhere.
Right.
Can I add a comment?
Yes.
All right. So while you can have as many physical stamps as you want in Tennessee, as a RON, you can only have one.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
It has to be used on all the platforms, the same stamp. So it's true in person, but that's not a true statement for online. And I wanted to make sure that I drew the difference there.
Oh, good point.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Miss Jenny.
Thank you.
Miss Billy is up next. Hi, Billy.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep.
Well, I can now. Yep.
Oh, a message came up, said the host is not allowing participants to unmute themselves. Just so you know that it's gone now. But so my quick question is it all right when I put myself on these platforms like Find a Notary or Notary Online, I think it is, through NNA and other platforms? Is it okay if I say I am a member of Notary Stars?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't want to.
It's absolutely okay. And in fact, you should, and it shouldn't be, I'm a member of Notary Stars. You should say I'm dedicated to ongoing continuing education and are a member of Notary Stars. We have those, learn more about me at Notary Stars that you can put on signing orders, SnapDocs, ZigSig, all of those. And we have a video on how to install those. We have an affiliation now coming with signing order coming very soon. There are some people testing for us, but there will be something coming up. I know Ms. Beth was like, it's a big secret. We can't, but there is a whole thing affiliation coming. So we are getting movement. Prestige Notaries is now, our Notary Dash is now accepting our certificate and putting our logo. They just requested our logo, and we're going to have a certificate for you guys to put up there very, very soon. So two of the major key players out there are now requesting Notary Stars. So I'm very happy that you want to put that out there, but you can put it preemptively to let people know. But our thing is not just take a test and you pass. Ours is dedicated to signing agent excellence and the ongoing education that we're going, and we want to create a movement in this industry of being dedicated to our job. I mean, of course, there is only so much training you can take, but staying abreast on updates. You know, you don't want to go to a doctor who just went one time and says they're going to operate, went to school one time and says, I'm going to operate on you 20 years later. You want to know that they are updated on what they're about to cut you open for, right?
Yes.
So, you know, we want to make sure that we let this industry know that we're a different breed out there. We're career notaries. We want to make sure that this works and that we do it right, whether we do it on our first day, on our last day. Everything in between those days in our careers, we want to do it right. Miss Beth, and thank you, Billy, for that question. I really, really appreciate it. We have only we're at time, but we started 1 minute into it. I know we have one hand raised, so I'm just going to ask this quick thing. We've got Katie with her hand raised, and there's one question on the board about that's up for me, and I'd like to answer that tonight. So let's get through at least those, and then we'll do our take home. So two more questions, guys. Let's start with Miss Katie.
Yep, Katie, there you go.
Hi, how y'all doing?
Good.
My question is, I do go when I'm not looking at you all live. I go to the on the website and look at the videos. So how do you know that I have to pay? Which ones do I pay for to be recognized that I've been taking those classes, or is it you just take my word that well, I am a Notary Stars member, but for the videos, is there classes I have to pay for to show that I've been taking your classes?
So I'm going to answer this question because for years we used to monitor which module did you go to, which video did you do, and that's just too many. I mean, we calculated how many members have been through today, and it's just ridiculously insane. About a couple of years ago, we allowed you to start tracking your own training. And then here's the thing, okay? You could take our test, you could take LSS test, you could take Notary Academy test, you could take Notary to Pro test. That doesn't mean that you know anything. Okay, we're dedicated to signing agent excellence here. And when you're ready to take your next steps in life, you will know when to let go of your membership or when to downgrade to just a basic level so you have your listing. You will know when that time has come. But staying abreast is kind of the best choice in this industry. So there's no real tracking of your training. I can read a book and I can say, I didn't remember anything that I read. I've actually read books recently in my life in the bathtub and then got out and thought, I don't remember anything I just read. So you're good. I mean, it's true. We've all done it. And we're adults and we're business owners, and we have to be able to determine within ourselves, when are we ready? When is our next move? Do we want to keep a tether to this? So there's no tracking the training anymore. We will have affiliation certificates coming out for different platforms of things that they requested for us, but you don't have to feel when you're ready, you will know. And if you're not ready and you need that tether, that's okay too. I have tethers to certain mentors or trainings outside of this industry just to run a business and things that I need, but there's no tracking you because even if you took a test, there's 100 questions on the test and there's 150 hours of training on Notary Stars. We don't know if you grasped every single little concept. We can't gauge that, but you can. And so the best answer is you will know. Your heart will tell you when you're ready to move on.
When you say move on to not take any more of your classes, or
There's once you've done everything, and there's always Notary Star Plus marketing, which is a whole new course. Once you've made it there, you do want to keep your listing, of course, and you can still come back to MGM. I don't want $69.95 or $39.95 or $14.95 from people the rest of their life.
oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So, okay, I got you. So, yeah, because in my profile, yeah, you tell us to notate that if we with the if we taking classes in a National Notary Association or Notary Stars. So and you said that's important that that the clients know what your abilities are. So I just want to make sure is it gauged, but you have answered that question. So, okay, so all right, that's it. I'm all over the place right now because I want to be right now. All I want to be is signed up with signing agencies because I have, I'm trying to learn how to get the experience, and I've been a little setback. My mom passed away, but so I'm trying to catch up. Thanks. So I'm trying to stay abreast of what's going on. So I appreciate you guys are great. I'm going to stay with you all.
We hope you do.
I like it. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Now, Beth, let's get that, Manuel, if we can get that one last question from the drop form, and then we'll go to our take home for tonight.
You got it. This question came from Evelyn S. I got a sign-in request that said white glove treatment. What exactly does this mean? Dress, suit, question mark, or other special things?
All right, so I'm gonna actually pin myself up for this because I want everybody to kind of see my face when I say this. Unlimited Inc. has a white glove service. First American has a white glove service. Mortgage Connect has a white glove service. It's going to vary company to company, okay? It's my white glove service of what I consider white glove notary is going to be different from what Prestige or Notary Dash thinks is a white glove notary. It's going to be different from what Mortgage Connect thinks is a white glove service. So when you see that white glove treatment or white glove, you want to think what we're teaching here at Notary Stars, because that's the ultimate goal, is to, when someone thinks of your service, is that it is white glove, that it means it's going to be perfect, handled with care. There's going to be less attitude and more customer service, that there's going to be, attention to detail. So that question really hits a lot with my heart there, because I want all notaries to be white glove notaries. I remember when I got my first white glove status with First American, and I was the first one that they would choose. It's done things, things are done differently a little bit now, but I had white glove status with lots of companies before I owned my own company. And that should be your goal, is for people to say, oh, when I hire them, it's white glove. And to give you an example to take home, if you booked a spa, a resort spa for yourself, and you paid an extra however much, it could be $1, because those spa resorts can be very expensive. You could pay $1 or $1,000 extra. You would expect something more for that $1 or that $1,000 when you book that resort treatment. When you walk in, they would give you the white glove treatment. They would show you to your room, that they would let you know where everything is, that they would give you a key card that works. And if it didn't work, they would come running up to your room to make sure that you have that. That's what they're looking for when you see white glove treatment, that they are spending the money and that they are getting that service in return. Okay. So when you see white glove, your antenna should go up, that these people might be willing to pay more or give me preference on more orders, which means I make more because I'm willing to do the extra mile. And so when you see that someone's requesting that or offers that to their clients, it's probably a good client. That means that they have a higher level. They have a higher level and a lower level of tiers that they work with, and you always want to land in that higher level. I don't think white glove notary will ever go away in this industry. So that should be where your eyes focus. How can I become white glove treatment? How can I convince my clients that I can give their clients white glove treatment? How can I convince my direct clients, even in general notary work, that I'm going to give them white glove service? That should be a compass for where your career is going. Now, if you're a part-time notary, you may think, I don't want to invest that much work in this, and that's okay. But I'll tell you, you can work even half the time as part-time with white glove service. All right, guys, Miss Beth, who's doing our outro tonight? I believe
we have Miss Amy is giving us our parting thoughts for the day.
All right, I'm going to say it my way, Amy, and then I'm going to let you take us home, okay?
I'm in.
If you are not naked and you are not stuffing your face with a sandwich right now, please turn on your cameras and let's start giving our signature wave as Amy sends us home for tonight. We don't care if you're tucking your children in. They can wave to the camera too. Let's go ahead and get those cameras going. Come on, Thomas. Come on, Isaac. You guys are up on the first screen here. Let's get those cameras going. Come on, Brenda. I want to see everybody's camera on as I scroll through. And Miss Amy, how do we say it professionally here at Notary Stars?
Well, how I'm going to say it tonight is, remember that every stamp you place on the paper, whether it's ink or it's electronic, it is more than just a stamp. It's trust, it's security, it's opportunity for someone's life. So go out there, keep shining, and know that what you do matters more than you realize.
Thank you, everybody, for spending your afternoon with us. We hope to see you next Monday. Don't forget to add it to your calendar. Good night, everybody.